Yeah, I mean, it was a huge relief, to get done, especially getting it done earlier in, free agency, I guess you'd call it. And yeah, it's nice to be able to start focusing on next year, just get it out of the way, and enjoy the rest of the off season and get going with football when it comes.
Back and forth you had with your agent there in those first few hours, but
Yeah.
what was the process like? I don't know how many other teams, if any, you heard from. During
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I'm not gonna get into like how whatever, but yeah, it's definitely a lot of back and forth. I think I counted the amount of phone calls with my agents. It was like over 10 phone calls in the matter of hour and a half timeline. So it was hectic, and decisions had to be made, and I think I made the right one.
After a 1-year deal to come here and a 1-year deal to come back, what does that
Yeah.
mean you get like a multi-year pack?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, thanks to the Sheila, Brad, and Dan, and all the other coaches, I think that, and everyone else in the organization, it's something that as a young player you want, and I was finally able to attain that, and just to be a part of something special like this is important to me and my family, and to win in this city is going to be the focus, and I think that's all of our goal going forward.
Sort of build off that. I mean, you've been ascending here for a while, right? And along with the team, right?
Mhm.
1 year, and now to be around for the next three, when hopefully
Right.
you guys are able to achieve some of that success.
Right. Yeah. I think obviously the goal is to win playoff games, and that's something that hasn't been done here, and I forget when the last playoff win was, but I know it was a long time ago, and I think that's everyone's focus. Greg included over there. I think everyone's focus is to get to that point and truly establish what Detroit is. Okay. Yeah. And everyone's calling me older now. I'm 28, so I guess that's a long time ago.
Uh, Obviously, personal production last year was really good. A lot of career highs there. What do you look at as like the next level for you? What are you trying to better? What are you trying to improve going into this next season?
Yeah, I think just playing consistently at a high level. I think that I've proven that it's in me, and that I feel like there were some games last year that I was playing at a very high level, and I really just want to get out of that all 17 games, and still do all the leadership, all the mentorship, getting everyone lined up, do all that, but play at that very high level that I know that's in me every single Sunday.
From a team perspective, it seemed like you guys turned a corner at some point there after the bye. How much optimism do you have just knowing the amount of youth that you had kind of gelling there, and how much optimism do you have that carrying over to this next season?
Yeah, I think it's definitely, there was a turning point. I think we've all talked about it, and I think the development of the young guys is not an excuse anymore. I think it's time for everyone to take the next step, and even though we are a young team age-wise, I think that everyone has enough experience to, be consistent, be reliable, be everything that you'd want out of an NFL player. So I think that everyone's going to take that next step collectively.
Your approach changed as a leader, though. You was a captain last year. You guys got off the slow starts the last 2 years to finish strong.
Mm-hmm.
How does your approach as a leader change going into this year? Do you maybe reach out to guys differently, or to maybe start the season fast instead of trying to play from behind?
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, I'm in a different situation, too, because I am on a multi-year deal. I think there is, mutual buy-in from both ends, and that, I'm even more invested in, my situation here than, in years past. Just because you're a 1-year deal, you don't know, how long am I going to be here, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that, like right now I'm training with Derek in Tampa and Cam too, and I think James Houston's going to be with us too. So, there are different things that you want to do, but I think at the end of the day, you just build off of the end of last year and what we were able to do, because what we did last year was special, just how we started, how we finished, and obviously we came short, but you just got to build off that going forward.
Who was the second one you said? Cam Jordan?
Cam Sutton.
Cam Sutton.
Yeah, so I've trained with him for years now in the offseason, so I know him well.
To add him to this defense, what does he add to the defense, I guess?
Yeah, he's, obviously pen's not to paper yet, but he's a reliable player. He's consistent, athletic, everything that you'd want out of that cornerback position that that can benefit our team greatly.
Kaminsky was in here earlier today. We were talking to him and asked him about your role as as sort of a leader, and he referred to you as the importance of being the coach on the field. How important is that role to you to get the fronts and the back, going together and so on?
Yeah. I think that I mentioned this earlier. I think that that being recognized as is I'm happy about that, just because not everyone sees that. It's because you can't see it and you can't hear it because you're not on the field, and I think that it's part of my role here, and I love doing it. So that's I'm glad I came back for that reason, because I've said this before too, that I feel like I can leave my legacy at a place like this, and part of that is doing get everyone situated, get everyone lined up, and just being a coach on the field.
The odds a little bit to get a contract and chemistry?
Yeah, I think that when everyone gets drafted, right, you want to get an extension or sign with a team that you got drafted by, just because you have the idea of, I'm going to be with this team my whole career. And obviously that wasn't the case for me, but being here the past 2 years and then get a multi-year deal after that is kind of similar situation in that way in my eyes. I feel like it is a good story to be told, and my journey hasn't always been the way I pictured it to be, and whether it was dealing with injury or any type of adversity like that, it's cool to see looking back of where I am now, and where I am personally, where I am football wise. It's just awesome to see. I'm blessed and I'm grateful.
You, because I think a lot of people do view you as the old guy at 28, whatever, but the vet that's been around for a while, and maybe you don't have to prove yourself as much as that young guy that comes in, but being on those 1 year deals, coming here, new place. I don't know how much of that has been your story the last couple of years, like proving this is who I am. I can play 17.
I mean, anytime you're you're gonna be a free agent at the end of the year, you're gonna, there's an extra. I don't know how to say it, because every year you do have a chip on your shoulder, but you have that in the back of your mind of, like, there's a sense of desperation of whether you play better or not. There's a sense of desperation that you're gonna you want to do what's best to take care of your family, and every year's in your mind a free agent year, because you never know when it's gonna be your last. But there is an extra sense of desperation in those years that whether that's good or bad, it can also hurt your game too. So I agree with that sentiment. Yeah, it's a sense of relief, and also it's a sense of you being yourself too. All the walls are down. There's no, you don't want to get burned. Like in this league, you don't want to get burned emotionally. So you're really, like, you try to keep no strings attached as much as possible. But I really feel like I found a home.
Really quickly back to Cam. How long have you guys been training together, and how did that connection come about?
I don't know. I forget what year he started in Tampa, because I was before him. But like 3-4 years. But yeah, we just in the off-season facility, just training together. Yeah, it's in Tampa. It's Yo Murphy. He's our trainer in Tampa. Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers not going back to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys maybe ended his career there. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on just kind of
yeah.
the end of that?
I mean, Kirby got that last interception, right? But I was the one that I had a part in it. I had a piece in it. I hurried him. I think I got the hurry. I got to get Greg on the stat guys all the time to make sure I get all my tackles and quarterback hurries. But no, I think it's kind of it's going to be different. But it's nothing you can't get used to. I feel like this league moves on from people, no matter if you're a Hall of Fame quarterback or not. So, it's a new era in Green Bay, and we'll see what happens.
Beat anyone last year, especially in the division. and I'm sure you feel, confident about where you stand regardless of him coming back. But
Right.
the Packers have for 3 decades sort of owned the NFC North. I don't know how much does this open it up to like, hey, maybe it's time for a new team, whoever that is, to take the mantle.
I think it's like you said, with or without him. I think that we are on the rise, and I think that we're going to be for the years to come. And it's fun to see it happening, and see it happening in real time, and seeing young guys develop, seeing pieces being filled that we need filled through free agency or the draft. It's going to be a fun year going forward.